Uh, Hello everyone, am I audible? If yes, please mention in the chat box. Audible, please mention it in the chat box. Manika Likita, if I am audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Great, thank you. Uh, hello everyone. This is
Can you hear me?
yeah. I can hear you, Manika.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I unexpectedly had to come to work, so I'm gonna attend it from here. I might leave midway through, like in half an hour, but until then, I'll try to give it my best.
No worries, no worries. We understand that. We'll try to ask as many questions as we can in the first 30 minutes itself.
All
Uh,
right, all right.
yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot for the notification. So,
Right.
hello everyone. This is from GyanDhan, and we welcome you in the session today. So, this session, let me just give the context. So, you can see on the screen right now, this session is our broader initiative called Askathon. As part of this Askathon 2022, we are organizing 13 plus events, 13 plus Ask Me Anything events, where we are inviting 25 plus students from various countries where they are studying, be it US, UK, Australia, Germany, to talk to you guys. The intent of our Askathon is that, okay, hey, can we cut out the middleman? Can we cut out everyone else? And can we directly connect the students who are planning to study abroad to the students who have studied abroad or who are studying abroad? So that is the intent and with which we are organizing this session. I see a lot many of you are still joining, and we'll keep joining, but as this session was supposed to start at 7, so let's start right away. I'll start with a quick intro to Gyandhan, and then we'll move on to uh, the session today. So Gyandhan, as many of you have interacted with us in the past, many of you are in us for the first time. Gyandhan is an abroad education loan marketplace. So what we do is really help students getting education loans to study abroad. We work as lender partners. So we have almost 13, 14 lenders, including Bank of Baroda, Axis, ICICI. So Gyandhan is a go-to platform for you when you get to study abroad, and you're looking for a get in touch with us. We'll evaluate your loan application and we'll help you out end to end and helping you best education loan. Comfort of uh, why or how does so Gyandhan, when you apply it, you get assigned a loan counselor who talk to you, who understand your requirement, assist you selecting the right lender, and then do the process for you from there. Apart from that, we help you. Our entire efforts is towards helping the lowest interest rate and higher loan amount with the pre-visa disbursement. Good thing is that either you will upload the documents on a or somebody from our team will come to your home, pick up the documents and submit into the branch. So you don't have to go anywhere, and you get education loan from the comfort of home. The process is obviously as compared to traditional, though it I would be mindful and would want to mention that you should certain amount of time with you. For example, if you're applying for a loan, keep aside because there can be any situation where this can get delayed. Things can get delayed because the money that we are talking about. Keep things for the end moment and also keep 1 month aside for the loan process. Usually, it takes if you're applying for an unsecured loan 3 to 5 days. Applying for a secured loan, then 12 days. Obviously, with us, there are better chances of approval as compared to directly reaching out. Now, uh, let's talk about. the session today. So as you can see, today we are going to talk about MS, especially in CS, and we have two speaker Likita, who are going to be here and who are going to share their journey with us, who are going their experience with us, and whatever questions we have from you guys, we'll take them one by one. So let me start with the introduction of the speakers, and then from there we'll move forward. So we have Likita. So Likita is a current student at University of North Texas. She's pursuing MS in CS. She's presently most of the students do part-time job or assistants. So she's working as a assistant at the university. Worked full-time as an associate solution engineer at Hyderabad before this. Likita, welcome to the session. Thanks a lot for coming here and talking students today. The next speaker we have is Manika. Manika is a graduate of in management information at University of Illinois. As she's already told us that she's a before that she has been a technology consultant at EY, working as a data analyst in the department of Tennessee. She's also vice at Informs, which is a student organization at UIC. So welcome Manika for the event. Again, it's not very students who wants to go abroad get unbiased opinions from the people who have been through the similar journey. And the value of this is going to be immense. Not only people who are in the session right now, it is also being lively published on YouTube. So people are watching us on YouTube as well currently. So we'll take their questions if any comes from there as well. Uh, so some questions that we wanted to ask, which probably will cover your journeys. Then we'll take the questions that comes from community one by one. So the first question that I have at my pursual is very broader. Right, over here in India, one of you and both of you had a professional career in front of you and pursuing. So what triggered? Why study? Why taking the entire pain of giving GRE, being away from home, India only for a couple of times in a year. Why this entire journey that you pursued? What triggered it for you?
Personally, for me, I really wanted to I wanted some good education. I felt like just having a bachelor's was not enough, and I felt to really be good at what I'm doing, I felt like master's was important. And I also wanted to come here for the exposure because, I feel like the career growth or here is much better when, you pursue your in a foreign country. That's what I felt. Like the exposure, the knowledge that you get, the courses, and of course, the plenty opportunities that are available out. I think that's the reason why I'm here.
Uh, thanks, Likita, for sharing this. So for you, the reason was opportunity, and you wanted to. You was not satisfied with uh, bachelor's degree. You want to upskill yours. You wanted to upskill yourself and all. Great, thanks for sharing that. Likita, what about you? What triggered your study abroad journey?
Uh, I was working in a product-based company when I was in India, but I thought,
Thanks,
why
Likita,
do I
for
have to?
sharing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
So
we can
I
hear you
thought,
now. Yeah.
okay. So when I was working in systems, it was like the best company that I could work. I thought, why up here? If I just pursue masters, I can experience a lifestyle which I experience if I'm in India. So I wanted to masters, and I want. Uh, I was part of systems. It's a platform, but I wanted to know how the education is in US, because in India we are based on theoretical knowledge, but here all practical things. So that's why I
Okay.
wanted to come here.
So like, okay, hey, I am already doing great here in India. At the limit, uh, can you achieve more? And you mentioned that you wanted to expand lifestyle and wanted to explore the world. And so that both said by you, I think those are the reasons for most of us who plan to study abroad and who goes this journey. So the next question that we is, why did you this particular course that you were pursuing? Well, let's start with Manika again. Why did you pursue the course?
So I actually did my bachelor's in computer science, and I computer science. Honestly, it's great. Feel like for my personality, people person. I love talking and love roles. I mean, I didn't want to just take up a course where I'm laptop all day. I want something where I could use a part of personality for my work as well. So something where I can also use the stuff that I know, but also make my soft skills, because it's something that also gives me a lot of talking to people and stuff. And MIS is a course that's it's technology and then it's management. So if you want to become technical product manager, a consultant, or any of these, it's a great course. And it's for people who like more than just sitting in front of the laptop and code all day, but want to stick to the computer science or the data field. So that made me choose MIS.
Got it. So you already were doing MSNC. Wanted to give to a role where you can be, in simple words, you can when you where you can interact with the people. Uh,
Yes.
right. So, but why MBA then? Why MIS?
um I came right after my undergrad. So for MBA, if you have like say 2 years, 3 years, then your chances of getting into universities.
Mhm.
And if it's MIS, it's half the courses are MBA, half the courses are, are data analytics courses. And I was like, this is perfect. And I didn't to have a good, have any. I was still able to get into UIC. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I chose MIS over MBA.
All right.
Also,
Thanks.
it was a
Yeah.
best way to like stay connected to my field. Like I was still studying data science and all of that, and so I didn't leave that altogether. So I'm still balancing them out. So
Uh, Thanks for sharing that. How about you, Likita? How you choose the course that you pursue?
So I also bachelor's in computer science, but I was interested in coding, and I only knew a part of it when I was in India. But when I came here, when I was applying, there was artificial intelligence, like very specific courses. But I wanted a broader spectrum, so that's why I chose computer science. One, if I'm in computer science, I can go for machine learning. I can artificial intelligence. There are like a lot of branches over here. But when I was there, my college just had like few of computer science or electronics or electrical. So, and currently I'm a research assistant as well as a teaching assistant in my college, and that is through my coding. Uh, a question
Got it.
for me,
So
chat
I'm
box.
yeah.
Someone asked me,
Sure.
why
Let's
did you
take that.
choose
Yeah.
UNT? Okay, UNT like India, because like most of the students here are Indians, and you get to like first I chose this here because it feels like India and like home, the food and all the things that you can get in India. And why UNT is I've compared the prices. I mean, I've compared the tuition fees of different colleges available here, and I found it that UNT range, and you can get into that, and the transport fees and everything is very here, because in other states, if you want to go to work or if you want to go somewhere for the groceries or you want to go to college, you need to book a cab or something. But here you can either have the bus, which is free, or you have some facility which is called Go Zone, it just costs you around 75 cents. So that is, I felt it is very good. And the other reason was it is a research oriented university. As I already told you that I'm a research assistant over here. So it gives you more opportunities over here, and vice president in like couple of organizations like Women in Computing and Business Analytics. So I'm, as being part of for computer science, I'm also part of some other groups not related to my major, like data analytics, business, and computer security. So some of the students asked me about this, but I was not sure. But I just wanted to take home. That's why I chose Texas, and the UNT price range was it was suitable for my budget, so I just chose it.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. And I just was about to say to people that the value of this session will be more when you ask your questions rather than me asking questions. So whatever question about MSNCS, about US, about study, do ask. I just want to reiterate, wanted to reshare the of the speakers again, because I see a lot you have just joined, and many of you are watching on YouTube as well. Uh, so Likita is a current student at University of North Texas and pursuing MSc, whereas Manika has graduated from of Illinois Chicago, and she's currently working after graduation. Uh, so,
Aman, that must be an error. I'm still studying. I'm gonna graduate in November,
oh my bad.
but like the
Right.
role that I'm doing right now is the 20 hours that I work apart from studying.
Got it. Got it. My bad. So yeah.
Okay.
Manika, I would want to put the same question to you, which was asked for Nikita, Likita, that why you choose it, University of Illinois Chicago.
To be very honest, what were my priorities? Number one, I wanted good crowd because I really believe if you have really good crowd around, people who have a lot of work ex, people done different kinds of things, you can read from them, and the way they do anything, right? It all makes it better with their experience is what I think. So I wanted to come to you that had really good crowd, and I felt like before when I shortlisted universities, 5-6 seniors from every single university, and I assessed their profiles to see kind of people that I want to be around. And in some universities, I found that the universities were decent. Like these, people that I spoke to, they were people who really were able to inspire me. But to seniors from UIC, I could see ahead they were in career paths. They had clarity. They were getting all the resources that a student needs here to grow. The fees is really expensive. I'm not going to lie about that. But there is no university that I am aware of that gives so many assistantships and as much as UIC. So you can, around more than half of them have assistantships here in UIC. Employment is really, really nice. So you do a scholarship as well. Not tough because a lot of people do get it. And if you don't get a scholarship, still get like really good monthly income, about like 1800 to 2000, which is really good for a student who's moving right out of India and want be able to meet their needs here. So some of I would like to sum up. Firstly, great friends to learn from, to inspire from, great everybody with also they're really good to. So that's a really way to grow. Secondly, opportunities on campus are amazing in terms of assistantships or other jobs as well. And another thing is that professors and the course structure, it's really balanced. Like if you're doing something, then you're doing it, whatever it is, you can learn it really well. So it's really nice.
Uh, Great. So see a few questions around. Question we have is from Subhash, and that talk about how opportunities after MS in CS of the international students, and that is something everybody wants to know. Are most of the international students getting good placements? So if either of you can put light on this question.
So I'm going to be very honest with this. I think whether or not you opportunity, it really depends on you. It depends how very well prepared you are. I'm going to look for data analyst jobs, and for that, I there are certain I will need to get. So as long as you have skills that you need for your course, I think it's perfect, and you can definitely. But all I'm saying is, I don't know a single person job and had to go back to India. There are means there are consultancies that you can go to. If you're not getting a job, they'll help you, they'll market it for you. Then you can work for them on a contract basis time, and then you can eventually be full time. Like there are people who get really good jobs, people who get average jobs, the people who don't go to consultancies, figure something out with the consultancy, and actually everybody starts working. Like there might be people who get offer letters in 1 month. Some people take 6 and then go to consultancies, but in the end everybody does. Everybody ends up with a job. But what differentiates is how good are you at your skills, being able to crack those interviews, and having the persistence to apply to as many jobs as you can. That's what I would say.
So I want to echo that what you're mentioning, Manik. So I have been in this industry for last now. So while we are a lender, and our primary process, right, that okay, if you are giving money to whether they will be able to repay back it or not, and so even if you are able to get admission to top 20 80 universities in US, let's say because the audience of this session is we are talking about CS or tech courses. US is a place you want to be, and if you are able to consist if you can put efforts consistently, definitely you're going to get a job, and data tells so the difference between a very good university to 100 number of university in terms of the placement rate will be from 99, and these numbers I'm just giving just to give you a sense, whether if let's say if the good university is able to place you 99.5% times, then a university ranked let's say 50th will place you 94% times. So it's like the different it's like the chances of getting a job is high. Even the 50th rank university, there is a 90 chance that you will get a job, and this like even if
Aman,
the 100. Yeah.
I have a correction. Honestly, I don't think
Yeah.
the university really matters. Like the university matters in terms of your network, your learning curve. But when it comes to your jobs, I feel
Yeah.
like you can be a game changer. Like you can study in the worst university in the planet, but as long as you have the skills and you're doing some online learning and you're applying very consistently, I think then you don't have to worry about whether you're from a crazy college or not. Like it definitely matters in terms of who are you surrounded by, and do they know, because if you're studying in a good university, everyone around you will be studying something and you'll be like, okay, I gotta do this too. But if you're in a university where everyone's not taking anything seriously, then you might be laid back as well. But apart from that, I feel like it depends on your self will and how badly you want what you want. And there was also like one question on the chat that I wanted to. Somebody said that suggestion what will be the pay range. Now, to be honest, the pay range is something that again, like, so this is not so in India. If you're in a university, some companies come to the university and then you have placement drive, and that's how you get a job. it's not like that. It does not work like that. All you have to do is go on LinkedIn or go onto a company webpage and go onto the career site and just apply by yourself. So it's just you sitting down, going ahead, applying to as many companies as you want, and there is no partiality for everyone's in the same pool basically. But it's not that tough because I mean people do end up sending 300, 400 applications. I mean this sounds huge now that I talk about it, but it's not that hard. You just have to send like 5 applications every single day, which won't take much time, and that way you're just gonna be sorted. um so that's what I would say. That, and the pay range also absolutely depends on you. People who work into Amazon as a software development engineering right after their masters get paid 170K, and I have seen so many students get into that. But then there are some people who also get 80K, 90K. So you can't really tell. It depends on your luck, it depends on your work experience, it depends on your skills, whether you're able to get through that coding round, because every company first has a coding round, where I would recommend you to practice leak code, because only if you pass the online assessment you'll get the interview. So you need to like show them that you can code. So that's what I would say. So nothing is fed. You have to go. It's easy. It's just like googling a company that you like and then just applying to the roles of your choice, and that's it, waiting to hear back from them. And the pay, again, it purely depends on which company you get in and what role you get, and also a bit of luck. That's all I would say.
Right. Thanks, Monica, for sharing that. So earlier, when I was sharing about the percentage placement, so that is what the data says, right? And that's a fact that irrespective of where you are graduating from, it is you who won't need. It is who and your skills that will matter at the end of the day. Would also love to before we move ahead and take more questions. Would love to take Likita's views as well about how job opportunities, what she thinks is around, and if she also thinks that most of the students end up getting a good job.
So, getting a job depends totally on the student, as Manika said, and sometimes it also depends uh, how the job market is, because currently they're saying there will be a recession, so that's why people are delaying their graduation. Some people have to be graduated by December, but what they are doing is they're trying to delay that. Actually, masters is a 2 years program, but what we do here is we try to complete it within 1 year or 1.5 year, and then go for searching for the jobs. So the thing is, if so many of my friends are graduating this December, and if they're not able to find a job within 60 days after they graduate, they'll have to leave the country, first thing. So what they do is they try for some time, and if they don't find, as Monica said, they'll go for the consultancies and try to get a job and stay. So for 1 year, you can work on any company. I mean, you can work with any company, or you can start your own startup. Because I have spoken with my immigration, with my international advising team. So they told me that in the first year, when you're in OPT, you can start your own startup. But when the STEM OPT starts, you need to be with a company which is e-verified. So you can't continue your startup that you started. You need someone to take over it, and then you can continue working on that as well. So uh, the job market totally depends on. We can't predict that, but we should be ready with all the skills that we need for a particular job. And the pay range, yeah, it totally depends on the company and the skills that. I mean, if they have a requirement that is like a very immediate requirement they have, so they'll try to pay you as much as possible. And if they don't have a requirement but they're just hiring, they'll pay you less, right? So it all depends on the situation. But if you're ready with all the skills, and uh, if you are very good with coding and everything, then they'll definitely take you.
So I have a question. So you mentioned that people then go to the consultants to help getting a job. So when is
Mm-hmm.
it? a student realize that, okay, hey, I need a help of a consultant to find a job? Is it that, okay, hey, last month remains, at that time I will go to a consultant, or it is like that, okay, I tried my entire last semester but it's not happening now. Now only 2 3 months remains, so I need to go and should talk to the consultant.
So in the last semester, they can, I mean, we all can do a CPT, like an internship. So they try for the jobs, right, at that time. So they know what their level is at that time. If they improve it by the end of the
Mhm.
semester and they give a couple more interviews or more interviews, and they see if it is leading to a job, then they'll be okay. And if it's not leading to a job, or if they're not getting an interview, the first thing is most of them don't get an interview call sometimes, because the resume is not proper, the profile is not well established on LinkedIn. So that's the reason they don't even get the calls. So at that time they'll be in panic. So the last solution they have is they'll have to go to the consultancy. So it'll be like as soon as they graduate, within 1 week they'll go to the consultancies, because they were trying that uh, in the last semester for the internships, right? So once they graduate,
Mhm.
they'll keep a buffer of 1 or 2 weeks so that they can get the offers which they have given the interviews for. And if they don't receive anything, then they'll go for the help of the consultancies. And it's the right time to do also, because you have invested so much in your masters and you just have 60 days. And sometimes we don't, even if we have talent, the thing is we need the interview calls. If we don't have that, then it'll be a it'll really create a mess. So that's why people choose the consultancies. They feel that they'll help them in some way.
Got it. So we have one operational question. So where do you stay as soon as you land in US? Like, do you need to find a room before traveling, or how does the process go?
Yeah, even I mean, as soon as your visa gets approved or as soon as you book your flight, it's also important that you find an accommodation. What happened with our university is, for this fall semester, we had like 5,000 new students coming, and they didn't have the housing facility, and everyone thought, okay, we'll come here and find it. But the thing was, it Denton is like a big city, but still, we don't have so many housing facilities. So, like 5,000 new people coming here, it was like we couldn't find a room for ourselves itself. So it was very hard. So if you're starting, the first thing is every university will have a student association. Please contact that. And in some universities, we also have an Indian student association. Please to contact them, so they will help you in finding accommodation, and they will also try to pick you from the airport, because initially the cab price and everything will be so high that we wouldn't be able to just pay for it. So the student association will help a lot in the scenarios. So please do contact them, and you can find your way from there. Or how do you know the student associations? We have the Facebook. So every student, I mean, every university manages a student association pages over the Facebook, so you can get those details from there.
Right. So I see. Thanks, Likita, for sharing that. So we also have seen in our experience that people booking the accommodation before flying, or people booking the rooms, and that is the recommended as well, because you the hotels are very expensive if you have to book a hotel separately. What I have seen personally is people staying, at a senior's place or a friend's place for a couple of months or 1 month to start with. But that depends on if you have somebody whom you know and know enough that they give you, a space in their house. Uh, so I see a lot many other questions were asked, and Manika were kind enough to answer them on chat as well. So I still would love to have a fruitful discussion on one of them. So let me just uh, pick and choose. So okay, I like this one. So computer science versus data science. How one decides what to go forward with? Maybe Manika, if you want to
Um,
take a shot at it. Yeah.
Yes. So to be very honest, I feel like it really, really depends on you and your interests. So right before I started off this course in MIS, I started a course with Northeastern University for cybersecurity because I felt like it's a booming field and there's plenty of opportunities. But one semester into doing that, I realized that's not my interest. I had assignments where I was on my laptop for like 10, 12 hours and I never did anything that had human social interaction. So I felt like I don't want to be doing this all my life. In computer science, at least in the starting few years, all you have to do is like you have to do coding. It's pretty much you and your laptop. Of course, there will be interactions, there'll be people around. It is going to be fun, and nobody's going to make you code like a crazy person once you're working. Like I've heard from my friends that sometimes it's hectic, but sometimes it's not. And you're all figuring out, you're working in a team, so it's not like you're the only one doing all of it. But like once you're in computer science, also in the future, once you're really good at what you do, you can be promoted to being a manager. Then you will have some aspect where you can grow as a leader, and at the same time, you can work in your field as well. In data and analytics, I think it really depends on you. Like I like data and analytics. I'm not this person who likes to sit down and code. I don't I'm like I like it, but I don't love it. But when it comes to data, when somebody like gives me data and they tell me that, have a look at this, look at what this is telling you, just that curiosity to just go and dig in and find out what's happening, that's what interests me. So I would say, don't do CS because a friend is doing CS, don't do DS because another friend is doing DS. You try out and see what you like, because if you're doing your masters in that, you probably will work in that field for a couple of years at least. So go out there on YouTube, do some research. What courses do the DS have? What kind of roles will you get into that? In those roles, what do people exactly do? Like that's what you need to do. If it's computer science, then you gotta check what is it exactly that you need for computer science as well, right? What are the kind of roles? All of them are absolutely technical. If you love technical roles, computer science is booming. There are plenty of opportunities, and there's a lot of money in the computer science field, honestly, right now. But even data science is doing damn well, a lot of opportunities, but getting into a data science job is a bit tough. Whereas computer science is something that almost everybody's cracking these days. But again, um, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta have the skills that you gotta have. Only then that'll like work out. Otherwise, it's gonna be tough. So that's what I'm gonna say. Just find what you love and do that. Because if you're going to do it for a while, you might as well have fun while doing it. That's all I would say.
Got it. So we have more questions, but would love to take one of my questions as well, which we prepared. So how, and this is related to many questions that we are seeing in the chat as well. So how did you arrange your finances? Like when you started out, you must have seen a huge amount of, let's say, 30, 50, 60 lakh rupees, depending on which university you are going to. So like what is that entire journey of arranging all finances from different sources, and how difficult was it for you, and what would you recommend people in terms of going through this journey of financing their education?
So I have a very interesting story with regards to this. I come from a pretty middle class family, and
Okay.
finances were quite a bit of a challenge for me. It wasn't easy, like to even think of coming here. It was quite a risk. I had to know if it was worth it, because I didn't want to take a huge loan and not be able to pay it. Right? And there were a couple of places where this is kind of really sad, but I was not able to get a loan in a couple of places, and it really threw me off, and I wasn't really sure if, like, I had gotten my admissions and everything, but this loan situation was really very crazy for me. But what I would say, like, that it was really stressful. But all I would like to say to everybody is, with finances, think it through. If you're taking a loan, make sure that you're reading everything, all the terms and conditions, and make sure that whatever loan it is that you're taking is something that you can risk. For example, if you're going to a university whose fees are like 25 lakhs, then go ahead and take it. But if some universities fees are like 70 lakhs, and you don't come from a well-off background, that's not a risk that you want to take. I mean, if you really believe in yourself and you think you can do it, then sure, but try to balance out a good university and your finances and your risk as well, because you don't want to feel pressurized all the time thinking, oh my god, this is the case, oh my god, that's the case. So that's primarily what I would say. And I did apply. I did get. I've been here for 4 semesters. This is my final semester, and in this final semester, I was able to get a scholarship for 3 semesters. In the first one, I missed it out because of a week, because the deadline was over. But all that I would say is, when you're doing research about a particular college, do make sure that you go on to LinkedIn, talk to people from that university, and ask if they have assistantships and scholarships. See, you can always take a loan for 50 lakhs, but if that university does have scholarships and assistantships, you are saving yourself some trouble. And it's almost like self-care is what I would say. So go and do research, talk to the seniors and ask. For example, if I had to go to UNT, I'll talk to Likita, I'll ask her, so Likita, out of 10 people, how many people get scholarships? You're talking to me, so you probably can see what I'm good at. Do you think I'll be able to make it or not? So make those calculations, talk to people, get that information, and then choose your university. And even with finances, I know that GyanDhan does link you to multiple different, bank, loaning options. So all of these, so there's Avance, there's this multiple of them. So look deeper into all of them and see what fits best to you, and then go ahead with that. That's all I would say.
Uh, thanks, Manika. So, Manika, you mentioned that you did receive the scholarship. So, which scholarship was it?
This is probably a bit off track, but you have something called assistantship in every single university, where you get
Okay.
to work on an on-campus job, and that job gives you a scholarship as well. For example, Likita is a research assistantship, so she must be getting a fee waiver or scholarship, and along with that, she will also get paid every single month. So every university has this assistantship concept where you do get paid, and your fees are significantly reduced as well. So that's what I was talking about. So for example, there are teaching assistantships, there are graduate assistantships, and there are like research assistantships. So these opportunities are like, they give you money for your living expenses, but they also give you scholarship. And every university has these opportunities for sure. Some universities have more opportunities, some universities have less opportunities.
Yeah, you were right.
Uh,
As I'm a teaching assistant, I mean, if you are a teaching assistant in UNT, you get a 40% waive off. So if my fees is like 10 lakhs for this semester, then I just have to pay like 6 lakhs. The 4 lakhs is safe because I'm a teaching assistant. So if you think you have that capability, then you can apply for these jobs, talk to your professors, and if they agree, and the committee will decide whether you will be a teaching assistant or not. And there is something also called research assistant, but as we are a master's student, I don't think we'll get that position. But it's for specifically for the PhD students. If you get a research assistant position and you're doing a PhD, then your whole fees will be waived off. You don't have to pay anything, and every month they'll pay you with that amount. You can pay the minimum insurance fee that you have to pay for that semester. So it's like a free education.
uh, thanks, Likita, for sharing that. And how about the other part of financing? So, you're getting some amount from TA-ship, but are you did you also apply for an education loan, or did you self finance it?
Yeah, I also took a loan from Leaf Finance because it was my last minute option that I came for my master's. So I was not planning it from ahead. It was a last minute option. So the immediate one which I could
Yeah.
get was Leaf Finance for me, and I took a loan from them around $50,000 because I was not sure of all these things. But uh, it turned out would be good that in the first semester I didn't have the scholarship, but from the second semester I had more scholarships.
All right.
So I only use
So we
the,
have
like,
few more.
I just
Yeah.
use.
Yeah, that's what usually we also see, that people don't end up using the entire amount they get the loan sanctioned for. In our database, we see out of the people who take the loan, they only disburse 60 to 70% of that, because they end up getting the internships and part-time jobs and assistantship. Uh, so yeah. Now there are few more questions. So the one question is from Shri, and that is related to job. So how does lend, and we have I think spoken about it a couple of times in the session today. So how does lending a job solely depends on the referrals and building networks? As all of we know now that there are no campus placements in USA, but what kind of assistantship are we able to get from the campus as far as the job is concerned? And also then there was this question related to fairs, that which career fairs one can follow, to get to know about more job opportunities. Anyone can take it, Likita, Manika, whoever want to take it. Yeah.
For with regards to career fair, I recently went to Grace Hopper celebrations. It happened in Florida. I like they generally give us scholarships, but I did not know and I did not apply. But I did spend $650 for attending the conference, and it's really really expensive. But the amount of opportunities this place has, it's insane. There were like 350 companies representing, right from Apple to Microsoft to Google. Every single company was there, and like there was so this is basically for women in technology, but I did see a lot of guys around too, so I think they do take even guys are allowed. And the software engineering opportunities that they had were insane. People were getting on-spot interviews, on-spot offer letters, and they do H1 scholarship sponsorship as well. So I feel like if there is one career fair that I would recommend everyone to attend without fail, that would be Grace Hopper celebrations. It happens around in September every year. And it's a great place to meet all the recruiters right there, and give them your pitch saying, I have so experience, I'm looking for so and so roles. And it's just a really nice opportunity. I think for guys to be able to make it to the event, they will have to like write some small essay about how they support women, and support women's rights or something like that. But I think if you can just do that much, you can open a pathway to an amazing career fair.
Got it. Likita, anything that you want to add on the top of that?
Yeah, I was also aware of this particular conference which she is talking about. So in my university, we applied, and like the citizens got the priority and they got the scholarship for that. So they attended. Initially, it was uh, sponsored by the Google, but if you miss that, the universities will also sponsor it sometimes. So you should be knowing if your university does that all, or you should contact them as soon as you get something like this. If you're aware of something, conference or something, every university will have some amount aside for this particular things. Like they'll have around $1,000 or $2,000 for you. So if you want to attend any conference like this, so they'll give that amount to you. It's not that they're giving some amount from their pocket. It's your money that they're keeping it aside, and when you need it they'll give you. So please contact your university people and let them know that you are interested in these things, and they'll give you the money.
Right.
Too late for me, so I didn't
Right.
know that. So after that I learned it.
Right. So, thanks for sharing that. I think we have spoken a lot about jobs and financing. The one part that we have not spoken about, and now I'm actually seeing some questions on that part as well, is the admission process, right? So once you were triggered that okay, hey, I want to study abroad, then how was your admission process? How long did it uh, took it for you to prepare for exams, and how if you can share your GRE scores, that would be helpful for people here to know how much time or how much energy they need to put in to get into colleges similar to yours. And also, then how did you apply? Did you take any help from any consultants, or help from or did you directly just applied without any uh, uh, help? So just reminding that we have just last 10 minutes. After that, this session will auto end. So let's just have 2 to 3 minutes each to answer this question.
All right. So I think that when it comes to, admissions, there's a series of steps that you have to follow. The first step would be to give the GRE and IELTS or TOEFL. That's the first thing. So 2 months you would take into preparing for these exams, 2 months for maybe GRE and maybe 1 month for IELTS, and give these exams. Right. Once you're done with these, so it's a whole journey for 1 year, to be very honest. If you want to join in spring, which is in August, you have to apply by December. If you want to apply by December, you'll have to finish writing these exams at least by, say, summer. That is, at least by June end, you should be ready with your GRE and your TOEFL. Once that is done, you will have to shortlist your universities. I did go to a consultancy, but they didn't help me out, so I just figured all of it by myself. I just went online, checked all these QS rankings and all these things, and checked what are the top, colleges, and I made a short list based on their fees, based on the curriculum on their page. Based on the course structure and all of that, and also based on like how the alumni from that particular university as well. So once I did all of that, I made a university shortlist, and then you prepare your documents. That is, you get your letter of recommendations, you get your statement of work, and once all these documents are ready, you go and then you apply. So I feel like a very long process, but I think the best way to prepare is writing everything down step to step. Maybe have a reach out to someone on LinkedIn who has already done this. Ask them what are the ways in which I should be preparing, and write everything step by step. So by this month I'm going to be done with GRE and IELTS. By this month I'm going to be ready with admissions. I'm going to be ready to apply by having everything ready, and keep all of it shaped out, so you're not in a really panicky situation in the end, and you do have enough time for your visa, and finding a house, finding roommates, and all of that.
Uh, thanks, Manika, for sharing that. Would love to hear from Likita as well about her experience
Uh,
applying to the universities
yeah.
and direct admission journey. Yeah.
So as I told you, it was my last minute decision that I'll be coming here, but I've given my GRE when I was doing my bachelor's itself. The only exam that I had to give was IELTS or TOEFL, and I felt that IELTS is much better than TOEFL. And I prepared it for like for 15 days or 1 week, and then I gave my exam and I got a score of 7, and my GRE score was 321. So I was almost ready with my exams then, but I didn't. Back then I was working and I didn't have much time, so I went with the consultancy. There was one person who helped me in filling out the applications and talking to the university people. But I would say one thing is, though you're not, though depending on particular consultancy or some other people, please do work on your own, because the consultancy will have like a lot of people, and you're the only one who will care about yourself. So even they're saying I'll do it, constantly ask them like, what is the like what update from them. And if you don't receive anything, take those credentials, talk to your university people directly. uh, you can So one day when I asked her, she said you can directly call to the university people. The thing is, when you're there in India, you need to recharge yourself and then talk to people. So it's better that here people generally answer the emails faster. So it's better that you put an email to the university and they'll answer your questions. So first thing is you have to give
Got
your
it.
exam. If you don't have time, like many of the students didn't even give IELTS or GRE. They gave some other exam called Duolingo, if you're aware of it. So it hardly takes 1 hour to give an exam, and you can right away give it. It's a bit easier than the other exams. Maybe if you just want to get aware of the format and everything, in 2 days you can prepare for it and you can give your exam. And the scores will be released after 48 hours. So most of them have given this exam also and they came here. So you might consider that also.
Got
And
it.
GRE is
Uh,
not a mandatory exam. If you want to get a scholarship or something, then you can definitely give it. And if you don't have time, then it's okay if you don't give it on time. I mean, after even applying for the universities and you get admission, then also you can give your GRE exam because now it's not a mandatory requirement for GRE.
yeah. Uh, right. So thanks a lot for sharing about Duolingo. A lot many students don't know about that. The only thing I would say is that do check with the university if they accept the Duolingo score or not, because still while a lot many are accepting, there are few who don't accept the Duolingo scores. And about the consultancy part, I for one believes don't go for any admission consultants if you can apply for yourself. Because as Likita correctly said, that there can be vested interest, or if you are going with a consultant, then definitely you should do your independent research. If they are suggesting any college course, then please talk to seniors and many other people before finally deciding it, because at times there are consultants who help people getting admission into colleges because they get sort of commission from that particular college, and yeah, that can be a vested interest for the consultant. But at the end of it, you are responsible for yourself, and you are going to invest a lot of your money in your abroad education, because so ultimately you will have to be cautious before believing in anyone and taking their advice. So with that, I think we are almost at the end of this session. So I saw a couple of questions on the loans. So probably I won't be able to take right away. There are many events that we organize, or if you want to talk to somebody from our team, you can check the loan eligibility. Even if you are planning to go 1 year after, you can still talk to us and find out if you will be eligible for an education loan or not. Whenever you get an admit, the GyanDhan team will be there to help you out. As Manika mentioned at the start of the session, that GyanDhan connects you with so many lenders and gets the process done end to end for you without any cost, and help you out with the education loan at the lowest interest rate. With that, thanks a lot, everyone. For joining it. I hope this was helpful. Manika has shared her LinkedIn profile, so do connect with her if you have any further question. And if you have any further question that you want to ask, let me know. Find me on LinkedIn and connect with me there, and would love to answer that. Special thanks to Manika and Likita, both of you were kind enough to patiently answering all the questions, and there were a lot many questions that were asked in the session today. So thanks a lot for your time. This was really helpful, and we'll share the recording of this video to thousands of students who can get benefit out of it.
Uh,
So thanks a lot.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Amman. I also wanted to say to all the attendees that, we might make more sessions like this in the future where we can give you even more insights, and maybe we can make them longer and more detailed. So stay tuned, and then so that, you can get all the information from us and, reach out to us, ask us any questions, and we'll be there for you guys. Thank you so much, Aman, for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank
I
you.
wish I
Really,
had
thank you.
such a session when I was in India. So you guys are really lucky that
Wow.
you're getting this session.
Thanks, Likita. Thanks, Manika. Really pumps with such feedbacks and such appreciation. Thank you. With this, I will be ending the session.
Thank you.